Hey guys, this is Builder, and this is a video of my game with me versus MrGameTheory. So we started out, he wanted to pick Civs, so he picked France and I picked Rome. I don't know, I could have picked France just to go against him, but I don't know, I wanted to try Rome. I don't know, I don't think I'm quite... I've played France a couple of times and I wanted to mix it up, and I think Rome is pretty strong, so wanted to try it. And so he says he has this great strategy, new strategy, which he wants to test, which will completely defeat everything ever, possibly we have ever done before, ever. And everybody will have to do it now. So I decided I'd be the guinea pig for this new strategy, and, you know, we'll see what happens. So I'm sending my warrior. I see Paris, so I'm going to sit here and wait for him to move one of his units so that I can capture a worker or a settler that he gets a free unit, which would be very nice. He builds a worker right away, and we'll see where he sends him. I'm going to try to wait. Hopefully he'll go onto the Deer Hill tile, and then I'll be able to get between him and snag that unit. So what I'll do is he'll go onto the Deer Hill tile right there, and then I pop into the tile right there to block his zone of control. But unfortunately he moves a bit faster than I do, and he is able to get away. So he has another warrior nearby. So if he hadn't had the warrior nearby, it might have been alright, but now he did a lot of damage. He moves closer, and he buys a scout so that he can immediately recapture the unit. Or he probably didn't buy a scout, he probably just built a scout. And so anyway, I needed to win that first click battle, where trying to snag his worker on the Deer Hill, and I didn't quite get there. If I would have gotten that, I might have been able to get away, but because he beat me to that first battle, I was kind of behind. So now I'm kind of running away, and you'll see how many more click fests I can win. Yeah, I lose that one. So I'm going kind of grow capital first, which is good. I like it. I think in duels I need to build a couple more cities. I build too few cities. So with my worker, I take the free worker, so my capital will keep growing. I'm going to improve my hammer tiles first, so I can get the hammers going. Or my horse tile, which is the only hammer tile I can really improve right now, because I don't have any hills to mine. I try to save chopping forest for the free settler, when I'm building a settler, because when you're building the settler, you get the plus 50% production from, what's it called? Collective rule. And I want to try to leverage that into, so when you chop you'll get plus 50% hammers, which is what I would like. and I was exploring down around with my scout, and I find a injured, what's it called? An injured scout down below, and I'll hopefully be able to attack that and kill that scout off. That would be good. So I'm going for him, I get him, and then his scout attacks me over the river, and he gets a city down. Lion. I'll try to run away with my scout, and I succeed this turn. And I'll be sneaking up my other scout behind to get his scout killed off. It's interesting. I think the more I think about it, the more I realize I win a lot of my quick fests. And that's not necessarily skill. I think I have a decent connection for quick fests, which is nice. And so I don't try to run away that time, I just let him kill off my scout, and then I kill off his. So in the end, he lost 2 scouts and I lost 1. I might have been able to try to run away with my other scout, and then maybe attacked with my second one, but I don't know. I'll see if I'll be able to kill off that worker with my scout, because that would be very good. And I don't quite manage to do it, and then he kind of lures my other unit over by moving his worker only 1 tile at a time, and so that'll probably kill off my scout, so I'm not as worried about it. Yeah, and he kills it off. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm thinking about where to build my city, and I decided to build it on the gems. Although I probably could have built it on the hills over a little bit, but then I would have had to go over and improve the gems, which might have taken a while. So I'm going to keep on settling most of my cities on luxury so I can keep growing. Put a big priority on growing over other players. Maybe a little bit too much. With a duel at least, maybe I should be spamming more cities at hammer spots instead of claiming all the luxuries. I'm not sure. I could be building a monument right now, but because I don't have much military and I just got iron, I want to get some, military units out so I can try to take Lyon. I'm thinking about what I want to do because my iron tile is a bit far away from my capital, and I want to be able to sit there. With my 2 scouts, what I'm doing is I would like, ideally, to claim those 2 tiles to the south and north of Lyon, but one of my scouts is injured, and so I don't, and so he's able to put a warrior there. What I would have liked to do is to put both a scout on the forest right, where I just motioned, just above Lyon, and my injured scout below Lyon, and both fortify them, and hopefully be able to hold those 2 tiles. It might have been a little bit silly, but if I had been able to then get quick iron, I would have been able to slide in legions behind those, over those units, and then have a couple of legions at Lyon, which would have taken the city pretty quickly. And I check his strategic resources. He has 5 iron, meaning he's hooked up a 6 iron, so he will start upgrading soon. Right there you see. Which means that he probably could have killed off my scouts right there if he had, if I had put them there, so that's probably not too bad. I decided to work a little bit more growth because I have some excess happiness, and I'll be settling my next city on another luxury, so I'll keep on growing. So instead of working the sheep tile, I'll be working the deer tile to keep growing. I bought the iron tile. I tell you guys, don't buy tiles, don't buy tiles, and then I buy a tile in one of my games. I just made a little mistake moving my settler. I shouldn't have moved him across the river. I should have kept him outside the river so that I could have saved a turn and settled the city a little bit earlier. So he has a swordsman. He's probably gonna... I'm thinking he might attack one of my warriors soon. I'm thinking about moving my other warrior up one tile to get another flanking bonus on him. Not sure though. At the end he does attack my warrior, and I almost kill him off, and then I kind of do a gut reaction to attack with the scout, the 1 health point unit. And I think he told me that, in fact, attacking a 1 hit point unit with... Attacking with the 1 hit point unit scout wouldn't be able to kill off the swordsman. It's just like the Civ5 combat engine would not allow it. Because he's at, what, 13.75 with the swordsman on the hill with the 25% combat bonus, and my scout is at 4 attack, so it's over 3 to 1 odds. And that's a little joke from Civ5, my first Civ game. Yeah. And, because in Civ5 that's the Zulu ability. Keep on founding cities on luxuries to keep the happiness. This game doesn't hook up the luxury right away. It takes a turn for it to realize that it's on a luxury to give you the happiness. So even though I'm unhappy right now, my people will get happy again next turn. Right there, you can see. I'm a little bit hyper aggressive with my legions, attacking that whatchamacallit. Attacking his swordsman, that might have been a bad call there. I would like to have upgraded my warrior. That probably would have been a better thing to be doing with my gold. Of course I had another warrior coming, so it's just kind of a dead warrior. And I kind of jumped into a situation which I shouldn't have jumped into. What I'm gonna try to do with my legion, because he can't get out, is attack the warrior. And I try to attack, and I get bad odds, and the warrior ends up killing, or my legion ends up not killing the warrior, and then he ends up killing off my legion. So I kind of lose both quick battles. If I would have been able to kill off that warrior, if the engine would have killed it off, then I would have been set to go for at least another turn, because his swordsman would have advanced, and my legion would have, my other legion would have been able to hit the legion in the swordsman in open terrain and do some damage there. Plus I might have been able to get an instant heal for that legion, and so that's a pretty bad swing for me. So I lost a legion, and he gained a warrior. And it's pretty early in the game, so that's not nice. I want to be trying to press Lion with some legions and catapults. Those will, the catapults are pretty effective in the hills where you can kind of choke off an area. We got a little reload there. That's the loading screen. Pop and riding. Just kidding. I'm getting construction. Or, I'm asking if we're banning the Great Wall just because I want to think about it, because if it's not banned, I definitely want to go for it soon. I'm not quite sure why MrGameTheory wants to ban the Great Library. It doesn't seem like that overpowered a wonder to me. I mean, it just gives you a free tech and some other stuff. So I'm popping up. I was getting towards a settler up there, which is good. He'll be able to move it away, so maybe I'll be able to capture one before he founds a city. I'm being a little bit dangerous with running my settler out kind of vulnerable. I kind of used my scout to go over and check to see if there were any units, but it's still pretty dangerous to have the settler running around like that. And that's the thing, he double moved at the end of the turn, and got my settler with the scout. I think I discovered later that the scout had +1 site promotion, which means he saw my settler before it got to that spot, so he was able to plan ahead and move like that. And so the +1 site on the scout is a very helpful kind of attribute to have. The scout is already a sneaky unit, and then giving it the +1 sight allows it to kind of snipe workers really easily. And I'm winning a lot of the quick fests here. I'm getting pretty lucky in that area. I built a scout in Antium so that I could hopefully kind of go back up around and try to attack the scout that took my settler. Building some legions. I'm working towards mathematics for my ballistas so I can try to take it's called Leon. I just started half of a road there with my legion. I think I'm being a little bit aggressive right here. I don't think I should have advanced. Seems a little bit hyper aggressive of me again. And if I should have done that, I should have not had my other warrior, my other legion building the road. I should have just popped it up, because then it would be closer and easier to kind of help, for it to come over and help. So I'm going to delete his settler, which turned into a worker, because he has a swordsman coming by, and I don't want to have to bother protecting it. And I'm thinking about attacking the fortified scout on that hill. It'll do a significant amount of damage to me. Hopefully it'll be okay. I'm kind of managing the front. I'm trying to push towards getting to the choke point at Lion, so I can control that and then send a ballista up at the city. So once you get the ballista set up, it's pretty good to go. It'll take down the city's defenses in a couple of turns, if I can hold that spot for a couple of turns. And his warrior dies off attacking me. I might have gotten some nice odds on that, because generally people don't suicide their units intentionally. So now I've claimed that part of the hill next to Lion. Hopefully I will be able to hold, or I've gotten to that spot. Hopefully I'll be able to hold it, and I will be able to put the ballista on the hill behind it and bombard Lion to pieces, because the city's at pretty low strength and the ballista has a very high strength, so it will do a lot of damage on the city. And I'm preparing to double move the scout up above, give it a taste of its own medicine. We'll see if I'll be able to kill off that scout. So with a couple of seconds left, I pop up and get ready to attack. And indeed, I finish it off. Good for me. And at this point, MrGameTheory starts spamming archers, which are really annoying to deal with. Generally, a good counter unit for archers is a horseman, and it will be a couple of turns before I can get some more horsemen. The horseman costs about twice as much as an archer, so if you can kill off 2 archers for every horseman, then you're making a profit, or you're about even. If you want to make a profit, you have to survive after that. But the other thing is that horsemen require strategic resources, whereas archers don't. So you could build 50 archers, whereas you can't build 50 horsemen. I mean, maybe if you got really lucky on a map with like Russia or something, then you could like have 50 horsemen, but it'd still be I think it would be too much. Or it would be a lot to get. But the other thing is that it's hard to counter all those archers in the city with horsemen, because it's just difficult for me to get my horsemen around the hills to attack his archers. So really the problem, I think, is that he's France, so he's able to claim the city spot first. If I had been able to claim the city spot of Lion, I probably I'd be able to have a lot sturdier defenses. Lion would be actually very well, exactly where it is right now, would be very good defensively against any attack he tries to do, because it's on a hill behind one hill only, so the second hill would block archers trying to bombard the tiles, and I'd be able to kind of sit back and only attack units that kind of come near the city, because 2 archers, you'd only be able to attack with 2 archers from that side, and 2 archers isn't nearly enough units to kill the city with. Also, I'd be able to set up a defensive line behind the hills, and be able to prevent his archers from bombarding my own. And here again, I'm a little bit hyper aggressive. I'm trying to kill off a couple of archers. And maybe I'll be able to take Avignon with my couple of legions I'm sending at it. I have an insta-heal on my legion next turn, and with that I would be able to kill off his swordsman and take the city, hopefully. Because, again, you can see the promotion bar is all full, so he'll be getting a promotion next turn. And I am not very fast at all. He's able to attack my legion and then bombard it. If I had been able to actually get it after he had attacked, and then I could insta-heal, it would have been a great thing for me, because then I would have been able to, you know, be cool and stuff. Thinking about attacking the swordsman right there, but I wouldn't be able to do much damage. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna send my archers or my scouts around and get a nice flanking bonus before I attack him. Do some good damage. And meanwhile, he's kind of ripping at my my legions with a bunch of archers. The city is actually pretty good for him for defending with archers because I can only get at it from a couple of tiles, so it's kind of isolated. I can't send horsemen around at him. So anyway, I put my scouts around for the flanking bonus, and I nearly kill off his, I do a lot of damage to his swordsman. I'm just looking at a combat preview for that swordsman, and I don't think I'd be able to kill it off with a scout, and I don't want to kill off my legion, so I'm just gonna stay there. Although, of course, I probably could have, if I really wanted to, tried to kill it off with a scout. And at this point, his archer spam is getting a little bit over the top. I mean, not necessarily in a bad way, it's working pretty well for him. He has currently 5 archers on attacking on my legion, and they'll do about 5 or 6 damage, which is just an absolute ridiculous amount of damage to be doing. And so I will try to retreat him, but I don't have a tile to retreat to. That's kind of my fault for not moving into place a little bit better. I'm going to start spamming out horsemen to try to counter out the archers as they come into the open terrain and get less vulnerable a place. Thinking about moving him. I'm trying to figure out whether I will be able to get an insta-heal on that legion, because it's at 53 experience points, and each bombardment will do give it 2 experience points, so I don't know. I'm thinking about retreating, and then I do, and it was too late, and then he kills it off, and that was just kind of bad. And with my ballista, it was projected to do 10 damage on the city, but it only did 6. So if I could have gotten lucky with that bombardment on the city, maybe 10 or plus damage, I would have been able to again do a lot of damage on the city, and then well, we'll see what happens. I'm training lots of horsemen because horsemen are good against whatchamacallit. Anyway, he moves his swordsman up towards my ballista, and so then I'll bombard him with the ballista to do some damage, and I'll attack him with the horseman to hopefully stop him from being able to kill off my ballista. But then he gets an insta-heal, which I did not plan for, which is a little bit stupid on my part, and he kills off my ballista, rendering kind of my plans for taking Lion done. If he hadn't snuck around that swordsman, and if I had gotten one more bombard point, a lot more bombard points on my last bombardment with the ballista, I might have been able to take it actually this turn, because 20 damage from the ballista on average, maybe even a little bit more, and then the last shot with the Legion to finish it off, and then he would have had a hard time taking it back, hopefully. But anyway, what happened. He did a good job sneaking his swordsman around, which I should have had a counter. I should have had a counter for, but I don't, because I don't build enough military. I'm spam building horsemen right now because I want to try to kill off archers. MrGameTheory has a very large score right now because he's built lots of cities. Not necessarily better, but with France you get a lot of cities out quickly. They're all around 1 population. A thing which I think you can note when you have a lot of cities, you should try to synchronize your growth so you get all of your cities to grow at the same time, so that you have a ton of 1 population cities and you have like 1 or 0 happiness. And then if you can get 4 or so cities to grow in the same turn, well, it's not quite that simple. What you need to do is you need to get them to avoid growth, and you lock down their tiles, and then you do avoid growth, so they fill up their food basket, and then you uncheck the food stop growth check mark, and in the next turn they all grow. Because even though you go into unhappiness and they only generate 25% of the normal food, they still grow because their food basket was full. And so if you can synchronize growth, it adds a turn on to growth for a city, but you can get like 4. So if you build lots of cities, obviously the more cities you get, the more you can synchronize growth. And then you can have a lot of 2 population cities instead of a lot of 1 population cities and a 2 population city, which is a big thing to do. Big change, obviously. I don't do that as much because I build fewer cities. If I built more cities, I'd probably do that. If I built a ton of cities, I'd do that. Or if I were France spamming cities. I mean, France spamming cities is a little bit much. They just get their policies more quickly. They can spam settlers earlier. So again, I'm spamming horsemen to counter all the archers he's building. I wish I could have another city out right now. I would like to have a city on that silver and also another city on the furs, which he took. Well, actually I have furs, so I wouldn't want a city on that necessarily, but just another city, kind of a defensive city maybe, so I could find a nice spot to be defended against the archers and maybe on the hills, protected, or behind the mountains somehow. But unfortunately that's kind of ruined by Avignon and the city above it. And I'm thinking about attacking with my horsemen, but that will the combat projection is not that good because the archers fortify and it is on a hill. I'm going to start building the pyramids because I don't feel I have enough workers right now. I don't know. I feel alright defensively. I should be thinking that he'll be getting an upgrade. He'll be getting a medieval unit soon because his France will be finishing Liberty. And so he'll be able to get either crossbowmen or longswordsmen, or probably not knights. Knights would take a while to get to, just tech-wise. If he had gotten the Great Library, then he might be able to get to knights pretty quickly, but he's not. He didn't get the Great Library. So, and I have a bunch of horsemen right now. I'm going to see if I can smash some archer units. He has a bunch of archers back there, so once I attack, I want to attack in unison and minimize the amount of damage he does. And hopefully I'll be able to kill most of his archers, and then I'll have a couple of horsemen left over, and he will be wrecked because he's been focusing on all building archers, and I will be alright because I've been doing some other economy. And right now I'm building colosseums in all of my cities because I feel safe. That's not necessarily the best thing right now. I think I don't have many legions, my iron is unprotected, I need more military, I believe. I shouldn't be spam building all of these, what are they? Spam building all the colosseums for happiness. Because you can go into unhappiness and that's okay. Anyway. I pop a legion out there kind of as bait to see if they'll bombard, and then once they bombard the legion, they'll be unfortified, and I will move in with some horsemen, and we'll see if I kill off 3. Let's see, a couple of archers there, and then he kills off one of my horsemen, and you can see he just has a ton of archers plus a great general. Semi-ridiculous. And again, to kill off archers efficiently, you need to do a 2-to-1 kill-death ratio with archers against horsemen, which I did not get at all there. I killed off about 1 archer for every horseman. I have maybe, once I kill off some of the bottom ones, I'll be able to get like 1.5 kill-death ratio. Oh, that was unlucky, where I didn't quite kill off that archer. But he still has more archers, and I ran out of a lot of my horsemen, which isn't good. I popped into demographics. He's just above me in hammers right now, which includes my Golden Age production bonus, so that's not really that good. I'm trying to build the pyramids right now, which isn't, again, necessarily a good thing to be building. I buy that tile. Again, buying tiles, right? It costs 35 gold, and I'm not sure if that's worth it. That's a lot of gold. That's a Legion upgrade. Half of a Legion upgrade right there. I did it so that my Legion will be able to get double healing in home terrain, so that it would be able to take a couple of more archer bombardments. And at this point I noticed that he is getting crossbowmen, which is how he gets that from, being France. He can finish Liberty extra quickly. And he probably shouldn't be bombarding my workers at all. Bombarding workers with range attacks is kind of a waste, because the worker works perfectly fine with whether it's ranged attack or not. So it's just kind of like, why are you doing that? Why are you wasting that attack where you could be waiting for maybe another unit which you could bombard with the crossbowmen, perhaps? And so now he has quite a few crossbowmen, and he's starting to push on Rome. And I'm still building the Great Pyramids because I'm just silly that way. I think at this point I realize what a precarious situation I'm in, and I'll try to build some extra units, but I still haven't decided to build something else in Rome, which is kind of a problem. Instead of building military, like I should, I'm building the pyramids. It could be a couple of horsemen or something. Although he just has so many archers right now, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm going to try to pull back horsemen back to my capital. And he's kind of building a road up so he can get lots of units. I'm thinking about attacking, but I'm just not committing. I have the engineering, which gives me roads, bridges over roads, bridges over rivers, and so that allows my horsemen to pop over the river. But still, it's still not good. I'm just looking it up. An archer costs 26 hammers, a horseman costs 50 hammers, so again, 2-to-1 kill-death ratio to make a profit. But now that he has crossbowmen, it'll be very hard to kill off for me, and such. And again, if he didn't have crossbowmen, he wouldn't be able to be offensive on me at all. But he is, France, so he can. And so now he's starting to push on my capital. I lost my iron, so my legions won't really work anymore. It would have been good to get another iron source up, maybe, but there weren't that many iron sources nearby. He claimed a lot of the map with his early cities, which is something that France does, and it's kind of a byproduct of my strategy of staying big, growing my capital early. it would be good to be Greece against this kind of what he's doing, because you get the horsemen early, and that allows you to attack. Also, another thing is there are so many luxuries on this map. Actually, that kind of was a bad thing for me, because I was going around picking up all of the luxury techs, and instead of going for horseback riding or mathematics early, because essentially you need to, because the other guy's going to do it. And so the fact that I spent so much time researching other techs and that my tech rate wasn't very high meant that I wasn't able to get to horsemen fast enough to be able to counter the or mathematics fast enough to be able to take lion, or horseman fast enough to be able to kill off a lot of his archers, because by the time I got a couple of horsemen up, he had already filled the map with archers. And as you can see now, he's going to just do a ton of damage on my city. There's not much I can do, and he kills me off. And that's the game. I lost. Thanks for watching. You got to build more horsemen and stay back, and maybe build some archers of your own.